Hi. Ever heard about the formative years economy? This is the population within the 16 to 30 age group. This is when most people's ideas and preferences about life and what do I want to do at work, what kind of work I want to do, who do I want to work with, um, what sort of things I want to buy, and where do I want to live, etc. All these preferences are being formed in this age group, the 16 to 30 age group, and that's the age group that we target as the formative years economy. And um, why do I talk about this formative years economy very specifically? That's because of the fact that the companies that work in this particular age group have a very low customer acquisition cost and they have very high lifetime value for their products and services that they sell to this particular age group. Imagine a situation like you have maybe a requirement to buy an electronic gadget, and the the product is available to you at a massive discount because you're a student in uni or whatever. And because of that, what happens is you get hooked into that particular ecosystem. Many of the companies that operate within this particular age group have created these sort of ecosystems. Examples being Apple, Tesla. I can talk about many others like Octopus Energy here in the UK. Right, many of these have created these kind of ecosystems, and when the person is looking at buying another gadget, they're obviously looking at this particular company. When they're looking at anything to do with tech, they're obviously looking at it. But this is not just tech alone. This is actually an interesting um, market adoption of sustainability because a lot of people within this 16 to 30 age group have understood sustainability as part of their education. They've had a pretty good knowledge of uh, how sustainable their lives can be, and they're making very conscious choices in terms of what they want to buy and who they want to work with, etc. So this particular trend, or I can say this particular formative years economy, we've identified about 15 trends that shape this economy. So, one of them being sustainability and climate change. I talked about the tech innovation. Again, within the tech innovation, we are not just talking gadgets and electronics alone, right? There are a number of things like people in this particular age group, and they are trying to open a bank account. They're probably going with fintechs that give you a very good, customer experience versus the normal high street bank. So pretty clear where their loyalties are going to be. Experiences, very unique experiences, is where this particular group is actually prioritizing a lot of their spend on, and they're building businesses on their own. A lot of them have pretty much of a global mindset, and they're quite interconnected. They're quite connected with their friends across the pond, living in India or whatever these days with social media interaction. It's very easy for people to understand, and they can collectively get together on issues, etc. Right. Uh, One part of this is ESG, of course, but we don't like the way ESG is implemented in most corporates. It's become more of a reporting burden for corporates, and it's not adding a lot of value either to the investor or to the investee company, right? The way we look at ESG is I say the 99% of ESG, because the 1% of ESG is the ratings. right? We are more interested in the 99% of ESG, which is the actual environmental, social, and governance work that happens on the shop floor, in the factories, in the manufacturing plant, in the driver's seat. That's the one that we are more interested in, right? So what we've done is we've identified these uh, 15 trends. There could be many more, but we see these uh, 15 trends being very, very strong. Some of them, like, the work paradigms getting shifted, how things are working with basically a younger workforce. There is urbanization, of course, smart cities that we talked about, um, health and wellness, a lot of them putting a lot of emphasis on wellness and health care rather than disease management. So, our health systems and health policy is more disease management oriented. And people in the younger age groups are more looking at not just being a consumer alone, but they're looking for transparency, they're looking for sustainability, they're looking for a lot more from brands than all of us put together. Um, so, what we've done is we've created a stock index. And earlier this year, when we launched this stock index, we started off with the stock index. It's called the Helix Transition Index, which looks at these areas like food, transport, built environment, industrials, health and well-being, digital nativity, experiences, etc. But all of it with a sustainability and climate change oriented play at the back, right? So this is the comparison of our returns with various benchmarks where we stand in terms of the year to date. It's not one particular country; it's global. It's custom weighted, meaning we've got both long and short. We are not market cap weighted. If we were market cap weighted, a company like Tesla or Apple would be 35% of my index. That's not what the spend tells me, right? The spend tells me that I'm spending 16 to 30 age group, they're probably spending anywhere like 3 to 5% of their annual spend on electronics. So I'm only putting 3 to 5% into that particular area. So that is how this is constructed. So in comparison to other market based indices, this is quite different in the sense that it is custom weighted. So these are our benchmarks. Major sectors, which ones we are looking at: consumer non-durables, retail trade, producer manufacturing, etc. We've got a pretty good split. 30% of the companies are large cap, 20% mid cap, 20% small cap, and there are a number of global ones other than that. We do a quarterly rebalance. Our key ratios, we have a Sharp ratio of 2.3, which is quite industry leading. If you compare it to the S&P or the Dow Jones, which is less than 1. So this means that it takes twice the market volatility for this index to actually move, uh, you know, downwards or whatever. So it's quite rock solid. Sorry, it's quite rock solid from that perspective. Um, and that's our year-to-date performance. Live data that you're seeing over here. If I look at year-to-date, we are at about 78.8% as of today, as of the 1st of November. Uh, so let's take a starting point of 100 points for all the indices on the 1st of January, and we are at about 77.98 or 78% up. In comparison, the S&P is 23% up, Dow Jones is 13% up, and the Nasdaq is 11.9% up. If you have institutional inquiries, if you would like to create maybe an index fund on our index, here's the form. Get in touch with us. But if you're an individual and you'd like to access our services, then straight through on our homepage, There is Helix 360, where you can go and click on that and you can open up Helix 360 and subscribe to one of our research publications. You can also get onto our index. You can also follow our strategy as email notifications. But we are pretty soon going to be launching an auto trade strategy as well. So if you're a trader and you'd like to follow our strategy, auto trade the strategy, that's going to be available in the next few days as well. Uh, our index is now available to institutions. Very soon, it will be available to traders through the auto trade. It will also be available to your wealth managers who can use the auto trade functionality to create a model portfolio, including our index and various other indices, various other mutual funds together. They can construct a model portfolio for you. So that's the stuff that I wanted to talk about today. I'll post a link to our website on the comment, and please do get in touch if you have any questions and if you'd like to understand a little bit more about our services. I'll be more than happy to take you through.